It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio with us today. We are sitting down with Tania Sims, Executive Director of Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity.
Yep.
We're talking. It's been about 10 years since I've sat down with you. The restore was being put in and all that was taking place last time you were here.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, more than a decade. vvhabitat.org is the website you want to go to for more information about what we'll be talking about today. Again, vvhabitat.org. Phone number is 928-649-6788. I'll give that again, 928-649-6788, and then I'll mention that during commercial breaks too. All right, so let's jump into it. First of all, how have you been since it's been 11 years since I've talked to you?
Pretty good. We've had a lot going on the last several years. So good for the community.
Yeah.
Good for us, good for the community.
You said you've had some challenges over the last year or so with the COVID thing going on. What were some of the challenges for Habitat for Humanity?
Well, keeping our business open, having revenue continue to come in, the restore we have, but primarily with our homeowner applicants. You know, life happens and COVID has happened to a lot of people, and so we had some homeowners who were set to become actual homeowners. We were going to build homes for them, and we had a few that opted out, so now we're looking for some homeowners.
That was really good news too. I'm glad to hear that you said that because yeah, you are looking for homeowners and we need to get those taken care of. So that's something we're going to really talk about today is to focus on is just what the application process is like. So maybe should we just kind of jump? Well, no, I wanted to start first. The reason I had you come in was because you actually sent an email to me that there are people who are getting ready to either move into a house or getting a house built. So fill us in on that.
Well, we built a triplex in Sedona. It finished last year, and we had some applicants in the process for the 2-bedroom there, and for multiple reasons it just didn't work out. There are requirements that you have to meet, and I think you're going to ask me about that. Yeah,
definitely.
So it was just a longer process than we thought, trying to find the homeowners for that property. So the couple that you just saw, Steve and Marta, they are actually purchasing the 2-bedroom in Sedona. We don't usually build and then find the homeowner. We always find the homeowner and then build. It was just a very unique situation for all of us that we had the process work out a little bit differently.
And these folks are kind of near and dear to the Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yes, they've been volunteering in our restore at our help desk for I don't know, several months. Several months.
And it said something about their 50th anniversary.
Yes, they had just celebrated their 50th anniversary the weekend before we notified them that they were approved as our next homeowners.
So that is fun. yeah, because I know that's not how it works usually. You don't build the house first and then find somebody to live in it.
Yeah.
Usually the people who are going to live in the house that's being built and own the house that's being built, they have very much to do with building it itself, the home. So let's start the application process. Let's say I want to come and talk to Tania about putting up, I need help with the house. Okay, so what is the process? How does it work?
Well, the first part is contact us, either at the phone number or the email address or the website address that you gave. And then we do have a pre-screening questionnaire that has to be filled out. That just kind of gives us some preliminary information, family makeup, potential income, and those kind of things. And then from there, we can determine if an applicant is ready for an application. So then they have to go through an application process, and we are an equal housing lender. We're a mortgage lender. So we have certain things that we have to go through just like every other mortgage lender. And then from there, there's if they meet the income qualifications.
What is that income qualification? So some folks out there can actually know, so either they will apply or they just don't even bother applying.
So the population that we serve is 30 to 60% of area median income for Yavapai County, and it changes every year. Okay. So the federal government changes those numbers. And I don't actually keep those numbers in my head because it changes all the time. But it depends on if it's a single family or it's a family of 4 or family of 5. You know, there's a variance in there.
Okay.
But that is the population we serve, 30 to 60% of area median income. And if you want more questions on that, that's what we convey when we talk to you in that pre-screening process. And then there has to be a need that has to be met. So we have 4 need criteria. Either cost burden by housing, paying more than 30% towards rent. Most of our applicants are usually in the 50% range.
Wow.
Have to be living in overcrowded living conditions. Today we see a lot of families who are bunking up together because we have a shortage of rentals and housing of all types in our communities. Must be willing. The other need is substandard living conditions. We have a whole set of questions and things that we look for when we go out and do home visits, which is part of the application process, and an inability to obtain a traditional mortgage. Either period, you can't obtain a traditional mortgage, or you can't obtain enough to purchase a home on the traditional market. So if you had someone who only qualified for $100,000 or $150,000, they're probably not going to be able to find something to purchase at that price point here in our Verde Valley.
It's gotten outrageous, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it has. And even for us, that's a challenge because of the way that we sell our homes. And then the other part of the application process is a willingness to partner. So part of that partnership is doing the sweat equity. So if it's a single family household or single income household, it's 300 hours. And if it's a dual income household, it's 450 hours. And some of that has to be done in construction of your home or somebody else's home. So there's a lot of requirements involved.
I can't imagine that anybody who goes through this process doesn't want to go put their hands in the concrete and the dirt and everything else and get involved in it anyways.
Most do. Most are really looking forward to that. There's a lot of sweat equity that's usually done prior to the point of construction hours, like working in the restore, helping out in the restore. There's 50 hours that have to be done before we even break ground on a home, typically. We have had to make some modifications due to COVID last year and the situation with the homeowners I was telling you about for Sedona. They still have to do their sweat equity hours. They're just doing it in a little bit different time frame and a little bit different way. But yeah, so our applicants have to be willing to go through that process, and it's not like you call today and you get approved tomorrow like you might with a mortgage lender. It's a thorough process that we go through to determine the qualifications for an applicant, and then once our homeowner selection committee does all that groundwork, then they make a recommendation to our board of directors, and our board of directors is actually the entity that approves the future homeowners.
So it's a little bit of a process to go through, but if you're trying to get your first house or a house, it's probably worth doing then.
Well, it is. I mean, most people find that it can be very challenging because it is a longer process, but you have to think that we are working with first-time homeowners. They've never been through the process before, so we're going through a whole mentoring process with them as well. We go over, the paperwork that's going to be involved in the purchase of a home, and they have to have some, skin in the game, so to speak. So that there is a difference, and they're working with community members. There's a whole community involvement. We say that it takes a community to build a habitat home, and it's so true, because it's not us going out and building a home and then we're selling it to somebody. They are participating in the entire process normally.
Yeah. Okay, let's take our first break, okay? Tania Sims is in the studio, Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity Executive Director. The website again is vvhabitat.org, 928-649-6788. They're looking for applications. Stick around, countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Terrifying Jobs, Bull Rider, take 2. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
Two things we can count on every year.
A new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
The EPA says C&B Construction ranks in the top 1% nationally. C&B Construction invites you to see what energy efficiency and indoor air quality can be. We have won another Department of Energy Innovation Award, and C&B Construction is the only contractor in the country to win 6 consecutive EPA Indoor Air Plus awards. Experience our zero-energy, move-in-ready homes at Crossroads at Mingus.
C&B Construction, locally respected, nationally recognized. Find out more at C&B Homes.com.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're sitting down with Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity Executive Director Tania Sims. The phone number again is 928-649-6788, and the website is vbhabitat.org. Okay, so we talked about the application process a little bit, and we shouldn't walk in thinking, like you said, you're not going to just fill out an application the next day. You're approved, and the house goes up. Do you have properties that you can build houses on right now? And then how do you acquire these properties?
We do have some properties, so we're very fortunate that we do have a pool of properties. I think we have 11 or 12 right now.
Pieces of land that you can build on right
yes.
now. Okay.
Yeah, we have 5 in Rimrock and 7 in Cottonwood Verde Villages, and most of those were donated to us.
Okay.
So we're very fortunate that we have a very giving community, and when someone does have some property they are interested in donating, it has to be buildable for us. We have some details that we have to look at. But yeah, we're fortunate that we do have some property to build on over the next few years, but we're always on the lookout and always willing to look at property that wants to be donated, or somebody that wants to donate to us, because we know that at some point it could dry up.
Well, yeah, exactly. Now, you mentioned you built a triplex in Sedona, and I'm hearing you say you're building in Sedona. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how did Habitat for Humanity afford land in Sedona and then build houses on Sedona? So what happened with the Sedona property? That's kind of interesting.
You know, I think it was maybe 8 years ago. I'm really horrible with timelines.
Me too.
Time just flies for me. But there's a couple, Ron and Linda Martinez in Sedona, and they were friends of us. We had a board member at the time that was friends with them, which churched together with them, and they found a property on the corner of Peach Lane and Sunset in Uptown Sedona, and helped fundraise for us to purchase that property. So we held the property for a little while, and then you know, just in relationship and communication with our city council and governments and people in the community, it just seemed like it was the right time. So in 2019, we had a bunch of people that came together and just started making it happen. So we actually started construction in 2019 and finished it last year.
That's amazing.
Finished it the last couple of months right after COVID started, so it was a bit of a challenge, but we got it done. And like I said, the community always comes through. So we're very fortunate to live in this wonderful place.
And it's 3 homes?
It's 3 homes. It's like they're townhomes.
Okay.
So there's 2 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and 1 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And
they're all currently occupied now? Now that the latest folks here have taken one, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, fully occupied.
That's really neat. Now, is there a requirement? Can it be? Does it have to be a stick-built house, or can it be a manufactured home that you guys put on?
We have not done a manufactured home. We don't currently have any properties that are zoned that, but we're not against it. And as a matter of fact, this year with the cost of materials going up, we are looking at different types of construction to see where we might be able to do something different. You know, you have to do a lot of research and evaluation. But hopefully at the end of our current fiscal year, so by the middle of next year sometime, we'll have some concrete information I can take to my board and say, you know, these are some options we might have, you know, some different types of construction that could help us bring the cost of construction down, because some of that is passed on to the home buyer. But it helps us be able to build more homes. The more costly it costs us, you know, it is to build a home, the fewer homes we can build.
Sure.
So, you know, there's always that that thought process of trying to figure out how we can build a good quality home, but at a price point for us that is doable.
Yeah, I know that becomes more of a challenge, like road work too. I'll talk to somebody who's, some government agency is working on a road 1 year, and then 5 years later they want to finally build that road, and the price has just skyrocketed. It's just gone out the door.
Yep.
How long have you been with Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity, Tanya?
I've been employed for a little over 7 years, but I was a volunteer before then.
Okay. So do you stay in touch with the folks that over the last 7 years that you guys have helped get into homes?
Those that I have personally been in relationship with, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's neat.
Yeah.
So you just get to see them. Because I know we did a show one time with you years and years ago. There was a house being built here in Cottonwood. It was like a family of 4 or 5 and stuff. And it was just really neat at that time to see that happening. And it's always neat to have you come in and talk about these things. So that's pretty neat. It's awesome.
I think that might have been 2008 or 9 maybe.
Like you said, I am horrible with time as well. Yeah, as far as I knew, you were here a couple of years ago with me, and it's been 11, so I have no idea. I have no, time is just beyond me. Contractors who, I mean, you couldn't possibly tell me, okay, Paul, you've been qualified to build a house. This is the land. Go ahead and start. I mean, I don't know how to build a house. I mean, I could watch some YouTube videos or something probably and put one up, but it's not going to be very good. So how do you get... There's got to be some contractors involved, and I would imagine you would want the contractors hopefully to kind of maybe donate their time, or do you have to pay the contractors? How does that work?
Both. So we work with Jim Lawler. He is our licensed general contractor for all of our projects. We've been working with him for, I think, about 8 years or more as well. And then there's there's certain parts of construction that we have to subcontract out. You just have to have licensed subcontractors. So we've worked with a variety of different people around the Verde Valley, and many will donate either a portion of materials or labor towards the construction of a home because they believe that housing is, you know, a need for people in our community. Yeah. So, and it's different for every home. You know, with the exception of Jim, he's been great. He's been wonderful. Hope that we, you know, can continue that relationship with him. But you know, there's others that we've worked with several times, like Conley Electric, Dewey's Plumbing. You know, there's some that kind of just are the bigger subcontractors, and so they have the ability to maybe do some in kind where a smaller guy, you know, might not, smaller business. But we always make the ask. You know, is there any room for any kind of donations? And then Habitat for Humanity International also builds partnerships with big companies. For example, Whirlpool used to be a company that we had a partnership with years and years and years, and we could obtain a refrigerator and a stove for every new home that we build through them. That relationship changed last year. Whirlpool was bought out, I believe, but they're still working on a partnership for those appliances. And then there's other types of materials we can get. So there is a lot of opportunity for us to help bring the cost down. But like I said, it just depends on the home and the timing and when those materials are available or when that subcontractor can make that contribution.
It's got to be pretty awesome though once the house is finished and the people are moving in. Do you guys do ribbon cutting and all that stuff?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, you got it right.
Oh, yeah. We do groundbreaking ceremonies.
Exciting day. Oh, yeah, groundbreaking, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, if I apply and I'm approved, do I get to pick what kind of house is built on the property, or do I look at a series of plans and say, this is what could possibly fit on this land? How's that work?
Well, so usually when the homeowner is approved prior to construction, we look at the land that we have and say, okay, well, if you need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, then this lot here can fit that home. So when you were talking about that 4-bedroom, at that time, I think we only had 1 lot in Rimrock that could support a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. So there's some of those things that we have to look at. We have a few plans that give options and elevations, but not really the layout You know, we are not a standard builder where we have, you know, a set of 10 plans where you can come in and choose from. We have to have some control because that helps us control cost. So there are some choices that our homeowners get to make, but not like, okay, here's 5 plans for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You get to choose one. It's, okay, well, we have this one. You get to choose one of 2 elevations. Okay.
All right, let's take our second break. vvhabitat.org is the website, vvhabitat.org. Phone number is 928-649-6788. As Tanya mentioned, they are taking applications right now, so give them a call and see what happens. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left in the program. Again, vvhabitat.org is the website. Phone number is 928-649-6788. Restore. Let's talk about the Restore. I know it's very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody has seen that we've been trying to renovate and improve the aesthetics of the Restore over there. I think the last year and a half, we had it painted. We've got a new roof. We've got some, you know, we're trying to love that building back into condition. You probably know it's been around for a very long time.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah. Car dealership, which still is somewhat of a challenge the way it was made up. But yeah, the Restore is a significant revenue source for us, so it's very important that it does well. But it's unique to our community as far as a thrift store goes, because we have furniture, of course, which is a huge seller for our Restore, but we have building supplies and home maintenance items and lighting and anything that you might need to either renovate, maybe just do a repair. We even have some people come in and they're, you know, building small homes in their backyards or whatever, and they look for items. We have cabinets. People love used cabinets, so we have a lot of options there. We're always looking for good donations because it does provide a really great revenue source for us.
I suppose, yeah, if somebody's going to renovate their house and they've got old cupboards, they could take those down and be gentle with them. I mean, you don't want garbage.
Right.
You know, it's got to be in good shape, right?
It does. It has to be able to resell. So think about it. If you, if it's something that you might put in the garbage, then somebody else probably is too. You know, there are those treasure hunters who are looking for things that they can redo, but they're fewer actually for our shoppers than people who are looking for something that they can just, you know, take and put in their garage or maybe even replace cabinets in their house. Mm-hmm. So we are looking for good quality stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be gently used. I mean, if you renovated something a few years ago and you're going to change it out already, then those items are probably perfect for the Restore.
Yeah.
And then the money goes all back into the program.
Exactly.
Into the restore and back into the program.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got like a minute left. We've talked about land donations are always welcome. Financial donations are always welcome. Volunteers, do you have enough of those?
No.
No?
No.
Nobody ever says yes. Nobody ever says yes to that question.
Well,
that's good. No.
Yeah, so we have 10 employees. 10 employees. We have a restore that's open 5 days a week. We had to reduce that to 5 days because of COVID. We're short employees as well, like so many people in this community. But we're short volunteers. So we live in a retirement area. People love to come here to retire. And a lot of people are scared to come back and volunteer. So we never have enough volunteers because nonprofits typically, run scarce on employees and depend on volunteers. But last year with COVID, it really made a significant change for us in volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering, we do follow CDC recommendations and guidelines, practice social distancing, cleaning. If you're comfortable wearing a mask, wear a mask, but please volunteer. Yeah, and so we're hoping to be in construction within a few months, and so people are always want to volunteer in construction.
Okay, all right, well, you let me know. We're out of time, okay? vvhabitat.org, 928-649-6788. Tanya, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it very much. That's today's Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.